You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
Yeah, sometimes the couch is like a little too
It's
big.
too deep.
Like I feel like I need a fucking like.
And then like you're seeing inner thigh here, so
No,
now I'm
always
all self-conscious.
Whenever we're on the couch doing it from the apartment, people always comment. They're like, "I can see your balls."
I should have worn
Or like
sweatpants.
when sometimes I don't wear socks when we're here, and they're like, "Your feet are disgusting."
Do you know what I think about every so often? Whenever someone mentions the term
Penis.
sweatpants, what actually is relatively similar to penis
Exactly.
is dad. Remember dad used to work with someone when he was fresh out of law school whose balls were so big. I think he had like elephantitis or something. His balls were so big he couldn't wear slacks.
He had to wear sweatpants.
So he had to show up to court wearing black sweatpants.
So like at first you would think, "Oh, that's kind of sick," but then it's like you don't want big balls, you want a big
Penis.
cock.
Well, I think elephantitis is like your balls are so big. Like,
Yeah,
like each ball's huge.
No, you don't want that. You don't want that. But then I guess you have. Okay, I got to move this pillow.
Well, you saw how Trump
But it's
said
like the bigger your balls are, the more masculine. No, the opposite. I think.
smaller the balls, not more testosterone you produce.
Yeah, because in primates, gorillas and chimpanzees, the smaller the balls, the more alpha they are in the hierarchy. The more likely they are to become alpha.
Damn. I'm
That's why I'm running.
I'm Zeta.
Why? Because you got these massive balls.
Did you see Trump mention that he was like, Arnold Palmer was such a man. He used to go into the locker room and the guys would walk out of the showers and be like, wow, which is such a weird thing to say. But I saw a tweet.
That is like, why are you looking at?
I saw a tweet that said, yeah, well, imagine how big your balls have to be if one ball has iced tea and one ball is filled with lemonade.
Was that at dinner?
I guess
Al Smith dinner or something, which everyone all of a sudden was acting like, oh, they all know what that is, and it's a thing that everyone has watched every year.
It's like a comedy dinner.
No, well, there's the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
That's what I thought it was.
But this was the Al Smith dinner, and everyone was like, oh, yeah, the Al Smith dinner, of course. And it's like, no, you're all lying. There's no way anyone has ever heard of the Al Smith dinner before. That's not a thing. Who the fuck is Al Smith? But Trump was funny in it.
So was Kamala and Trump both there?
No, it was just Trump. I don't know if it was a Republican thing or not. I don't know. Like the
But
Pope
Kamala-
was sitting next to Trump or something.
The
It
Pope?
wasn't the Pope, but it was like a cardinal.
Like a big cardinal.
Like I don't understand what that dinner was, but it looked fun. Trump was killing it. Did you see some of his jokes?
Kamala had one too, right?
No.
I saw Jim Gaffigan spoke at
No,
like a
that
Kamala
was at
dinner.
Trump's. Kamala wasn't there.
Wait, what? Oh,
Yeah.
so when Jim Gaffigan was saying, you never read a Trump quote and think, is this Kamala? I thought that was him making fun of Trump.
Maybe, but it was at the Trump dinner.
Jim Gaffigan's pro-Trump?
I guess he made a joke. He said, you know,
Like the undecided voters.
yeah, he was like, there's a group of undecided voters, a small group, or not undecided. He said there's a group of voters that are publicly, you know, very Democrat, but they're always secretly voting for Trump in this election. They're a very small group. They're called the Biden family.
Like, it's funny.
That was at the dinner to Trump. And then Trump came out and said something. He was like, I don't have to worry about the men who are voting for Kamala. This was a fantastic joke, by the way.
This was the husband one?
Yeah,
or
he goes,
whatever?
I don't have to worry about the men who are voting for Kamala because I know their wives and their wives' lovers are voting for me.
Yeah, that was
And
a good
it's
joke.
That was
a really good joke.
joke.
Well, he's an excellent comedian.
Yeah,
his
he is.
his comedic timing is perfect.
Yes, he's a natural comedian.
Also, if I happen to look directly into the camera, I'm not trying to look into your soul. The Dolphins game is on in the background, so I'm watching the Dolphins
If you couldn't
game.
tell, we're both wearing Dolphins shirts.
Well, I was wearing my Dolphins shirt first, and then Bronson wanted to match me, which was a little
It's
bizarre.
actually
but-
incorrect, which is even more bizarre.
What?
I was wearing this first.
That's the joke, Bronson.
No, I know, but I feel like most people would expect it
Well, I
to
just
not
got
be
home.
the case.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. That's fair.
Bryce's girlfriend is here right off camera. She's sitting right there. I'm looking at her.
Hey, Bryce's girlfriend. She's blushing, even though she's not on camera.
Bryce, for those listening, obviously you know by now it's me and Bryce doing the episode. My dad is in.
Bryce and I. No.
No.
Yeah, because you'd say
No,
it's
you
me
would.
doing the episode.
No, you would say I am doing the episode.
Oh, you're right.
You wouldn't say Mia is doing the episode.
You're right. Well, who's Mia?
Dad's in L.A.
Dad's in Gaza.
No, that's not funny. So speaking of Gaza, Speaking of Gaza, I was just
No, let's not speak of Gaza.
no, in a funny, not in a bad, like not in a political way. I had to make a return or an exchange at a store in the design district. An expensive
Which
store.
is a war zone, honestly, like Gaza.
No, that's not. It's an expensive store. I don't want to like put them on blast. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be, but I got a gift from this store. I didn't purchase this item for myself. But the size was incorrect. So I went
Diesel. He's a big diesel guy.
I went and exchanged it. And it's like a high-end designer, not a low-end designer, because there's a difference there. I'm not saying for me, it fits within the story. So I walk in to do this exchange. I'm just like in my workout clothes. I'm doing it quick, and there's an Israeli family there, like in from Israel. They don't live here. They're visiting because they were talking to the sales associate, and they were like, the sales associate was ringing them up, and it was a husband and wife, and then they had two like high school age kids, boy and a girl. And the husband was like,
Had to serve for 4 years.
the husband was like, yes, we are friends with he was like, had a thick Israeli accent. So I knew they were Israeli right away. And he's like, yeah, we come every 3 months to Miami. We stay at the Sitai because the owner is a friend of mine.
Of course.
And he's telling the sales associate this. It's like the
Who,
sales
like, doesn't
associate
give a
doesn't
shit.
didn't
Yeah.
ask. So I'm like, oh God, fuck these people. And then the guy is like, oh yeah, we have an appointment after this at Chrome Hearts and then at Hermes and then after that. And he's like saying they have a whole schedule. And he's like, yeah, we come to America and the kids, all they want to do is just go shopping. And it's not like going shopping just at the mall. Like these are stores where you're
Yeah, you
dropping
can spend, like,
thousands
10 grand.
minimum. And then, so he's just like, yeah, and that's what we do. We just shop for the kids and buy them all the stuff that they want at these stores. And he's telling the sales associate this. And also then, if they weren't being rung up, then you think, oh, maybe it's just bullshitting.
How much did he get?
But then it was like $2,200 was the bill. They just bought a pair of shoes.
Well, it rained for like 5 minutes before this. He probably saw the bill, got angry, and the weather changed quickly.
Nice.
That's a good joke.
Yeah. Well, so I saw.
Good joke.
So I was like, these people are insufferable, and they give us a bad rep. And then I was like, honestly, maybe Hamas has a point.
Well, don't
like
say
I literally
that.
was like, these people are so insufferable that I'm not on their side in this situation,
Well-
and they're my people.
Well, I mean, as Jews who have been to Israel multiple times, I love Israel. I love Israelis. Wow, I'm going to get canceled just for saying that.
I love Israel.
But Israelis,
Don't love Israelis.
Israelis are the most difficult people in the
right.
world. Hands down.
I
in the
love
world.
Israel. I don't love Israelis, honestly.
Well, I like
I don't.
Israelis.
I mean, I like them, I guess,
No,
but I'm
but
not like I love Italians.
I mean,
I love New Yorkers. Like I don't
You love New Yorkers?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't love Israelis. I don't.
the fuck is this trailer? It's got to be a commercial. Oh, that looks horrendous.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was the red one trailer. If
I've
anyone
never even
wants to
heard
go
of that
watch
movie.
that, it looks terrible. I think also doing business with Israelis is the worst thing in the world.
So I'll even extrapolate it bigger. Doing business with any Middle Eastern person.
I've
is
never
the
really
worst thing
done
in
a
the
lot
world.
of business. I guess I haven't really done a lot of business with Israelis either.
Israeli, Arab, Persian, Iranian, anyone in that Levant region, they're, offending so many fucking people.
Who would you
at
say is
once.
the easiest? Maybe like Eastern or like Northern Europeans are the easiest to do business with?
No, so Hannah's dad is a doctor. He's a surgeon, right? And so he has patients.
That's how doctors work. And
I'm not going to say, because he says who his worst patients are. I'm not going to say that because that's like, I can't do that without his permission. But he says his best patients, Mexicans, and then Asians. They always just go, yes, doctor, whatever. There's never any questions. There's never any
Mexican people
complaints,
are always very nice.
and they're just very deferential. They trust authority. I think, they trust experts a lot. So if there's
Asian
a doctor
people
that,
are also very nice.
and Asians are also
And Asians-
very deferential.
and definitely trust doctors.
Yeah, so they're just like, yes, whatever the doctor's advice is, I'll do
A
it.
Jew goes into the doctor's office and their doctor will give them 35 years of experience in one sentence, diagnostic sentence, and they'll be like, "Thank you so much, doctor." Text their husband, "I'm going to see another doctor." I don't believe him.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. He's
the
trying.
hell?
He's not
Yeah,
right.
he's
He
trying
doesn't
to
know
one
what
on
he's
me.
talking
Yeah, no
about.
way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But then again, that shit does happen. I don't want to give too many. Sorry for not giving a lot of details, but mom's thing.
Yeah. Well, a doctor
She went
can't be right
to
all
two
the time.
doctors in LA this weekend, and they were both they both right away said, Did your doctors do this? Both of them independently said, "Did your doctors do this?" And she goes, "No." And they were like, "That's the first thing that I would have done. That's insane that they didn't do that. You need to do that because you can't do anything else before that."
Right.
And so she went to multiple doctors here. I mean, maybe I shouldn't go into this because it's
Yeah.
mom's medical stuff. But yeah, I mean, that shit happens.
Doctor's
Doctors,
gonna get arrested for breaking HIPAA law.
think about like some of the doctors we know.
Both of you
They're
guys,
just-
law students, like that's actually not what HIPAA law is.
I don't even know what
Annoying
HIPAA law is. Bryce's girlfriend is also a.
Also, Bryce's girlfriend, do you
law
mind
student.
walking behind the camera and lowering the air a bit? Because it's
I was sweating my
really
ass
hot in
off.
here.
I agree with you.
Thank you, Bryce's girlfriend.
Wow, if she doesn't get a name.
Well, I figured I wouldn't want to out her to all the.
Whoa, be careful.
She got scared to all the mentally unstable fans you have.
No, we don't. We don't.
She's so nervous to have even an inch of her body in the frame.
What
You can
happened
put
to
it at
the
like 69, maybe.
Hey. So speaking
Hobo.
Speaking of Bryce's girlfriend, she dropped a huge red flag. A huge red flag right before we started the episode because Bryce said, I'm going to cook a soup later tonight. Should I do French onion or butternut squash? And she said, do butternut squash because it's so much better than French onion. And I said that that's a huge red flag because any squash-related gourd
You're a loser.
dish, pumpkin, zucchini, squash, spaghetti squash, butternut, acorn, they're all extremely mediocre. And you know how I know that they're all extremely mediocre? Because people only want to eat them for about a month of the year. If they were that good, people would want pumpkin every month of the year.
Well, that's not true. There's
Mangoes are only in one season. They're only a few months. But everyone in the world always wants mango-flavored stuff all the time. Right? You would think, if
Very
they're in
different.
season,
One's a
pumpkin
vegetable.
is only in season, for a couple months of the year, and people only eat it during that couple
But-
months because it's ass.
But
And people
pumpkins-
convince themselves it's not.
pumpkin's not ass.
It is. It
but
really
I
is
think
not
it's definitely
very good.
overrated. But I also think butternut squash soup, I have it 3 times a year maybe, and when I have it, it's great.
It's
French
not great.
onion-
It's
No,
nice.
no.
It's nice and
A
warm.
good-
French onion is like, oh my god,
but
this
it's
isn't
different.
good.
It's like chicken to steak. Like they're
When have
so
you ever,
different.
Yeah, but chicken is.
But I love chicken.
Yeah, but no, chicken.
I
is
love
good.
chicken.
I don't love chicken. I love steak. If I just gave you a piece of chicken without anything else around it or on it, you would be like, this is nothing really. It needs other stuff. Like butternut squash by itself is very mediocre.
Oh, just
but
butternut
mango by
squash?
itself, fucks.
Of course, but Bronson, that's like
Steak by
that's
itself.
Like candy by itself is great,
Right.
But broccoli is nasty.
Exactly. And so objectively, candy is better than broccoli.
Yes, but it's apples to orange. It's not apples to oranges.
No,
it's
I'm-
apples to
not-
broccoli. One's a fruit, one's a vegetable. Vegetables do not taste as good as fruit.
No, but like Brussels sprouts, you can just eat pretty much by themselves with salt,
No.
and they're good.
No.
Yes.
Not at
by
all.
the way, I even eat Brussels sprouts raw. Hannah makes a salad
Ew,
with Brussels
Brussels
sprouts
sprouts-
raw, and they're great. Actually, there's stuff mixed
Bryce's
in there.
girlfriend's cousin made a Brussels sprout salad the other day, and it's raw. I see.
Yeah,
her-
was it cartoffi or whatever salad?
No, it was like a Brussels sprout Caesar, and she made the
It's
dressing.
so fucking good, that shit. I like that.
Everything was great about the salad, besides the shaved Brussels sprouts, because they're so hard. They're so hard.
but
I'd
okay.
rather lettuce.
But butternut squash, like any squash, it's fine. It's not bad. I take back its ass. It's just meh.
100%.
That's how I feel about it.
100%. But same with broccoli.
Yeah, but-
Same with every vegetable. There's
No.
not a vegetable that I'm like, besides onion, that I'm like,
French onion soup you eat and you're like, this is actually unreal.
it is amazing.
Butternut squash soup you eat, when it's November and it's a little bit chilly out and you're at a restaurant and you're like, oh, this is nice. Try it. Here,
Yes,
try it.
but I
French
get-
onion soup, you're never like the people try it because you want it all for yourself.
But I get good
That's the
enjoyment
difference.
out of like when I go to a restaurant, if the food sometimes is a 7 out of 10, but the vibe, the atmosphere, everything makes it a 10 out of 10, sometimes I enjoy that more than going to a restaurant with 9 food and the atmosphere is horrible.
Yeah, but we're talking about, but you said
But
making
soups,
it home.
like the idea of the butternut squash soup, it's festive. You could throw on a little movie, get some blankets, open up the windows, get a little gay about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just so plain and gay.
No, but I put fried pancetta on top. Like it's a gas soup. Sage butter infused. Like it's really good. I'm not just roasting butternut squash and blending it with cream. Like that's
Yeah, I just needed to document
the red flag.
Bryce's girlfriend's red flag. Bryce's girlfriend and I, the only thing we have in common is that we don't like lemon in desserts. That's what we've established.
You guys literally go to the same law school. You sometimes might carpool in the future.
So
That's a you
that's
guys
not
go to
something
the
we have
same
in
school.
common.
Yes.
That's not a character trait we have in common.
You're both Jewish. You both complain all the time. You're both annoying sometimes.
Wow.
Damn. Damn.
Bryce's girlfriend. How are you gonna take that?
She complained. She didn't. She gave a thumbs up.
I saw a TikTok today about desserts, and I wanted to get as the resident
Dessert guy?
food expert.
Okay.
I
hope I'm still in the frame.
Yeah, the edge was the
now
one.
we're sitting.
Touching knees.
Touching knees. Have you seen the SNL skit where it's like, came all this way?
Yeah,
it's stuck
the
in my
cringiest thing in the
head.
world. It's so not funny.
Not funny, but
everyone is acting like, oh, this is so funny. SNL kills it always, and it's like the absolute. SNL is the pumpkin. SNL is the butternut squash soup of television. So they're just meh. There's nothing really special about it.
Here's my thing with SNL.
Meanwhile, the penguin, that's the French onion.
They're so different. Here's my thing with SNL. It's not funny. They have very funny and talented people on it.
Do they? Who? Marcello.
I think Marcello's very funny,
Yeah,
and I also think the three guys, the Please Don't Destroy.
Yes, those guys
are hilarious.
Those guys are really
But
funny.
they're not on it. They're writers, technically, I think.
Right.
Also, if anybody has not seen that movie, what's it called?
Please Don't Destroy the
Race
Legend
to Witch
of
Mountain
Foggy
or something.
Mountain or something.
It is
on Peacock.
It's so stupid, but it is so funny. It's very like Hot Rod-esque.
Bryce and I watched it, and we were laughing out loud,
crying
multiple
laughter.
times.
It's very like Lonely Island Hot Rod.
It's like slapsticky.
Yeah, it was very funny, worth watching. But SNL,
so Domingo,
their delivery never is good. But I think some of their ideas are funny. Like that idea.
Some of their ideas.
That
right,
idea
was
a good idea, and it was funny that they were like making fun of how girls were always like they do that. They make a song thinking it's gonna be funny.
Yeah,
it's the cringiest thing in the world.
They're just cringe as
and
fuck,
they're like,
always.
we don't care because it's for Debbie's bridal shower. Who gives a shit about Debbie?
Yeah, women when they get with their friends are always cringy. Always.
Yeah,
men are never cringy. That's how it goes.
No, we're sick.
Men are never cringy when they're alone, and they're especially never cringy when they're with their friends. Women are semi-cringy when they're alone and extremely cringe when they're with their friends.
Young women are very cringe with their friends.
Young, old, when mom gets with her friends, you're like, oh my God, you guys have to
Yeah, but you
stop.
have more of an excuse because it's like, they're just like,
when you're old, and when you're old, I guess you just don't care.
Yeah.
But like the Taylor Swift concert was last night in Miami, and it's like, that if we were there and just looking around, we would want to crawl, like it would be zippy. We'd want to full on crawl out of our skin because of how cringy.
We had this conversation earlier of Bronson said you'd have to pay him $5,000.
No. I said, because someone said tickets are going for like $1,500 for the cheapest. And I said, you'd have to pay me $1,500 to go to the concert.
So free ticket plus $1,500.
Right. You'd have to give me $1,500
plus a ticket.
Right. Of course. And then I would say, okay, I'll go with you.
See, I would go for free if somebody gave me a free ticket and they paid for my drinks. But if somebody's paying for my drinks, I would spend the majority of it getting drinks at the bar. I'd get hammered.
Okay, but that's not going to the concert.
No.
You have to be in the chair. You have to be with everyone standing up, singing every single word to every single song.
Well, I don't know every single word to every song.
No, I don't mean you. Oh, but everyone around you is, and that's what
I would get hammered, yell some inappropriate things. I'd be like, oh my God. Like you can make fun of people's costumes without them knowing.
I guess if you go down that road,
like I would go
ironically.
I think the best kind of humor is when it's only funny to me, and like I'm making fun of somebody. Yeah, I'm making fun of somebody, and they think
your favorite thing of humor is being
facetiously nice,
mean,
facetiously nice.
That's like kind of evil, straight up.
Yeah, well, I think it's just funny. Like when somebody is at a Taylor Swift concert and being absolutely ridiculous, and I am playing into it, and they think that I am congratulating them on spending 19 hours on their costume.
But then you're also there doing it.
Of course, so I'm just as much of an idiot, but I would only do that if somebody bought all my drinks for me.
To be able to, at least the weather was nice last night. If it was hot, you might have to.
I think maybe Friday night it rained during their concert.
Yeah, see, so that's like $2,000 I'd have to go. To stand outside in the rain to listen to Taylor Swift?
Well, it took 2.5 hours to get home from the concert.
Kill me.
Could you imagine?
That's the worst thing ever.
Oh my God.
Hey, like if you like Taylor Swift, that's fine.
I don't like anybody
but
that much.
The cult mentality of it, the going so extreme. Like Taylor Swift fans, everyone listening knows. Like they're just notoriously fanatic about it.
Which doesn't make sense because there's a million really good people in this world. And
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't.
no, that's what they're. If you say why do you like Taylor Swift, they're always like because her music's my favorite and she's such a good person. And it's like, but you love a lot of music.
I mean, the cringy.
So
thing
her
with
being
Taylor-
a good person is why you're gonna spend $10,000 to go see
because
her.
you might, if you really like a person, if you like an artist and then you really like them as a person, also it makes everything about it.
But
better.
I just can't wrap my head around obsession of a singer. I can't get my head around it.
no, but
unless
that's
you're
also
unless you're sexually attracted to them.
But that's also a chick thing too.
Like girls growing up with Justin Bieber, I can wrap my head
Yes.
around it because they all had crushes on him.
And that's also-
that's a very different thing.
Girls, not women, girls. That's like they are fans of things. That's what they do. They like celebrity. You know, like they glorify and fantasize about celebrities.
But I don't really get
So
it.
it's fun. Like, but then that's what's cringy about Taylor Swift fans is that if the entire stadium was filled with girls age 8 to 16, it's like, okay, that's who. This is who should be here doing this. The problem is people who grew up with Taylor Swift when they were age 8 to 16. Now they're 25 to 35, and they're going there, and they're a 32-year-old woman who's out there with 10 sleeves of friendship bracelets, screaming at the top of their lungs, crying because this other woman who's 35 is just a bad dancer on stage. Like that's all. So that's what's cringy about it.
Well, I was talking to
Because
someone.
it's like, grow the fuck up.
I
Just
didn't-
grow up.
I didn't know-
Like, listen to her music. You don't need to be a fan anymore. I'm not a fan of anything. I'm an adult.
I didn't know what friendship as we're both wearing Dolphins t-shirts.
Yeah, but we're not like
I know.
like the guys
Yeah.
at Barstool who are absolute losers who like do everything in their
No,
life for
'cause-
every single sport.
Because they made a business out of it.
No, but
So
like
they
those
do it-
autistic guys that they live stream them watching the games,
Yeah.
and that huge fat guy who like
Frank the Tank or
like
whatever.
that shouldn't be glorified. That guy's autistic and he's a child. It's the most immature
I
shit
think
I've
he
ever.
might be autistic.
No, actually, like yeah, I'm not even making fun of him. He's an autistic child.
Well, I think what's crazy
that's not
is
cool.
They dissect, like if you ask a Taylor Swift fan any question, they can pinpoint to a lyric in a song in an album. No matter what it is. I asked somebody about a friendship bracelet because I found that out on Friday. I was with somebody who went to the concert on Friday, and I was like, so what are friendship bracelets? Like, why is that a thing for her? Because all I've known that as is like when you go to ultra music festival or like these EDM festivals, people take a bunch of acid and they have friendship bracelets that say like lick my pussy, and then they trade it to you for another one that says like
To lick
eat my clit. Like that's what it says. Like
yeah.
seriously. And now they're saying like I love you or like a Taylor Swift quote, and it's like that's not what they are, but okay, I'm here for it because you're being nice with other people. But it comes from one lyric. She said like, and give her the friendship bracelet in a song, and now that's her.
It's a culture.
That's not how that works.
I mean that's fine. The problem I have,
just crazy.
if they were 12, then we wouldn't even have a
Sure,
problem with it because we'd be
sure.
like, that's what girls should be doing.
Yeah, like when
They're
when your
girls.
brain's not fully developed.
Yeah, but
it's
now that
okay
there are
to be
adult
like that.
women that are doing it. I saw someone in the elevator this morning. That's why I thought of the friendship bracelet thing. I saw a woman, she had gray hair, and she had arms of friendship bracelets. And it's like, it's one thing if she was a mom going to the concert last night, but the fact that it's this morning, she's still wearing the friendship bracelets, it's like, grow the fuck up.
I guess because it makes people happy, then who gives a shit? And it's so not harmful. But
No,
we're just,
here's where I
we're
have an
just
issue with it.
complaining about it. We're not saying that there's anything wrong with it.
So I actually do think
It's
it is
just
harmful.
stupid.
Bryce. I think it is harmful because it's another thing. Well, that sounds like dad, but it's like another thing that goes towards adults now
Not being adults.
Yeah, like being
Yeah.
immature children. Like, and not like it's just
Well-
not growing up. Like, grow the fuck up. You're
Well-
35. Go live your life. It doesn't matter about what a singer does.
Okay, well, in girls' defense, men do it too. Specifically myself, because I literally saw a tweet last night or something where it was like, when our parents were kids, they were thinking, wow, my grandfather killed 20 people on the beaches of Normandy when he was 18. I'm 24 and I'm not even married yet. Now we're thinking like, wow, when our parents were 20, I'm 25. When our parents were 25, they were married, owned a home, and were about to have kids. I'm 25, and I'm wondering what the Rizzler's doing today.
Yeah. No.
And it's like,
well, yeah. of course we-
everyone is just pushing
Yes,
how
but
much.
we shouldn't glorify that. That's what I'm saying. So
I
that's why I have
agree.
a problem with that. I have a problem with you wondering what the Rizzler's doing, and I have a problem with the woman in the elevator.
But it's the Rizzler. He's my boy.
I want to check on the camera. Oh, fuck. Keep talking.
I tried to convince Bryce's girlfriend to allow me to dress up as the Rizzler.
Oh, you'd be a good Rizzler.
And she
you kinda look like
or
it.
my other thought was, Allie and AJ, the sister duo from When we grew
of
up,
course.
I was saying we could dress up as Allie and AJ. She would be Allie, and I would be Big AJ from Big AJ and Big Justice.
Way too
so
niche.
That's
You'd have to
why it's so
explain that to
funny.
every single person. And then it wouldn't look like you two were like in a couple costume.
It would just be
be
so
two random
funny.
people. No, I think you should be AJ and
Big Justice. No, we just ordered. We're I'm an Oompa Loompa, and she's
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka. That's an easy one.
Not that fun, but it's fun.
It's fun. We wanted to be. We said we'd be white chicks, which would have been funny. But then I'd have to buy women's clothing that would fit me.
So if you were doing white chicks, would you do
Black
blackface
and
then
then
white
white.
face
Of
to get the
course.
full?
Of course.
Yeah.
Is that technically blackface?
No, because you're presenting to the world as white.
So you know how I told you to watch that Outdoor Boys video?
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but
It's
I want
sick.
to.
But they put on like war paint. And for some reason he's like, I'm just gonna use one color war paint for my whole face. And he chose like an oily brown, and he accidentally just did blackface in
I
the
love
video.
Outdoor Boys.
He's the man. Like he's actually the man.
Another
What was this
thing,
dessert thing? Sorry.
Oh, well, wait, yeah, we got to get back to the dessert thing. But the thing that I was saying, another thing that I have a problem with Taylor Swift
Keep
fans,
talking. I'm gonna fix the game.
Okay, another thing I have a problem with Taylor Swift fans. Oh, wait, hold on.
Did I mess it up? Sorry.
Is that I have no issue if someone, like, when anyone likes any kind of music, truthfully. I don't look down on any style of music, any genre.
Gazan music.
No, but like, I don't look down on any music. All music is music. I think there are objectively types of music and artists that are better quality,
More
than
talented,
others.
more
And like
talented.
pop music as a genre isn't meant to be good. It's meant to be fun and popular. That's the whole point. It's not meant to
Catchy.
be good, high quality music. So when there are pop artists and people like them, and I like them too, I listen to it knowing that it's pop music. It's not meant to be good. My issue with Taylor Swift fans is that they really, really think that not only is Taylor Swift like high quality, top tier music, but that they also, because they didn't like Taylor Swift, they have good taste in music. And that just annoys me, because it's like, you can like Taylor Swift, it's fine. There are songs of Taylor Swift that I'm like, oh, this is fun to listen to. This is catchy. If this is on the radio or at a bar, I'm gonna sing along. But I know, oh, this is just pop music at the end of the day. There's no impressive musical structure, or the lyrics aren't, poetic or anything interesting. It's just pop music.
Yes,
They don't think that.
I agree. I don't think she's like like anything profound. Like her music is definitely good.
It's good, of course.
She's
It's good.
arguably the greatest of all time at doing exactly what she does. But I don't think what she does is creating eloquent poetry.
Yeah.
What she does
But
is
they
she
act
creates
like it-
music that young girls can relate to and find enjoyable to listen to. And I think she's probably the best of all time at that.
Yeah, probably.
But
they think
I don't
of
think
it as
I
like-
don't think her music is like groundbreaking.
Right. Transcendent.
Yeah. But it's like Justin Bieber. Who's Drake, right? Drake's music is the least profound music of all time. But he might be a top 3 artist ever in terms of he's amazing at what he does. He makes catchy pop music that will be hits.
But that's all it is, catchy pop music.
Yeah,
Like, you can't
but
pretend
also like
that it's
what
anything.
would? But then in the defense of that would be, what band would you say, or what singer would you say makes profound music?
Well, there's a lot of different people that are making really interesting and, cutting edge and unique music.
True, like
even within
she's
pop,
not groundbreaking. She'll never be groundbreaking.
or even interesting. Her music is just exactly what it needs to be.
True. I guess like people who like break barriers into new genres, like even like I don't really like EDM or any of that kind of style of music, but there's guys who are groundbreaking for that to like create new branches
Or
of
you
music.
you listen to Fred again.
And you're like,
And
holy shit.
You listen to it and you're like, this might not be my style of music, but
You're like,
there's
this guy has to be
something
autistic. He's so talented.
Like there's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
here that's special. Something here is really interesting, and there's a talent here, a real talent.
True.
For music.
And her voice is definitely good, but her voice isn't
it's
like
fine.
anything insane. You hear like a Chris Cornell and you're like, holy
Or even like
shit.
Ariana Grande's voice blows fucking Taylor Swift
out of the
voice
water.
out of the water. Okay, before we get to the dessert thing, I just wanted, because the last time I was thinking about this today, because I read an article about this yesterday.
You know you're fat when you're sitting on a chair and the couch cushion sliding moved 9 inches.
I have to
Jesus
adjust these
Christ.
cushions every time Bryce sits on them.
Fucking A.
But you also sit and you
Slide,
push.
yeah.
You push yourself down.
So you were saying.
So last time we recorded an episode, I know, why am I so uncomfortable? Last time we recorded an episode on the couch, just me and you, I think this was the last time, or maybe the second last time. We were...
Second to last time.
Why? What do you think I'm going to say?
The last time was when we did the music one.
That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the cute, hot thing.
No. The music one, because that was like over a year ago, maybe, or maybe just about a year ago. And we were... No, it was over a year ago. And we were theorizing, and we were like, country...
No, it was less than a year ago, but yeah.
We were saying, like, country is going to become the dominant music.
I don't think we did anything groundbreaking there because it was already number 1.
Was it, though?
Yes.
Not like it is now.
Totally.
Country
it was only like
the,
8-9 months ago.
I think it was longer than a year ago.
It might have been a little longer than a year ago, but it was. I appreciate you thinking that we did something groundbreaking there, but we did not.
We did.
Also, the Dolphins quarterback's not in.
Okay, so the dessert thing I saw.
Wait, but why go back to the music thing?
No, I was just gonna say because now country is like the predominant form of music. It's like the pop culture
so much
right
that
now.
Literally rappers have left rap to make country
which
music.
I hate. They're gonna ruin it.
Of course, but with anything,
pop artists are singing country. Like, it's like also. So I was reading an article that was saying, like, the premise of it was that Southern culture is now, like, for forever in America, for the last 100 years, Southern culture was always like made fun of. You know, it was always like the joke. It was what people thought was low culture. Like, people were like, this is what's wrong with America is, you know, pickup trucks and hicks and hillbillies and country music. Everyone always made fun of country music and barbecue and cowboy hats.
Yeah.
But now that is what's popular in America, not just in the South. The article was making the claim, I think it was called like the South has risen again. Like, you know, the idea was the South will rise again.
It's not a great article to write.
Well, I think it was like, that was the point of the title. It was, you know, but it's true. Everywhere you go now, people wear cowboy boots and cowboy hats, and Bella Hadid or Gigi, whatever one of them, was just walking in the New York fashion show or whatever in a denim cowboy outfit. And everyone is like, idolizes ranch life, and everyone listens to country music. And in Brooklyn, the most popular food is barbecue.
But don't you remember we were in Japan and Hana bought the FedEx NASCAR jacket.
NASCAR is trendy.
And I said, I mean no offense because I think that's such a cool jacket, but I cannot stand that women and trendy men are now trying to make redneck culture cool because they're also the people who think rednecks are the worst.
Right. No, but
so I said, not that Hana thinks that, but I think that's stupid that you're like, not only do I not like everything that you stand for, but I'm going to take all aspects of your thing and use that and then still shit on you.
So I actually...
It's like me wearing like the Gaza...
Keffiyeh.
The keffiyeh and being like, fuck Gaza, but I think a keffiyeh looks really nice, so I'm going to start wearing it.
I think you're thinking about it in the wrong way, because I think that's what that's the initial point of it, right? Like, in the beginning, yes, that's how it's going to be, but I think it's like on the path of, like, for the last 50 to, you know...
I think it's just poserish. I think that's what it is.
Well, fashion always is poserish.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as someone being true in fashion, because you're always just doing it for how people want to perceive you.
Of course, but I think them being like, "Oh, I love this redneck, whatever."
I think that's good for the rednecks, because now it's like, instead of being made fun of, they're like, yeah, like how I always argue, cultural appropriation I think is good.
I don't
because
think it's cultural.
You as a culture, you're like, if other people are doing this stuff that I came up with, it's like flattery.
But I don't think that's necessarily cultural appropriation. I could care less about cultural appropriation.
A gay black guy in Brooklyn who is idolizing redneck culture is cultural appropriation. He's taking culture that's 100% not his.
I don't
and wearing it.
But that's not the part that I care about. It's more that it's the people who are the main ones wearing this kind of stuff. And this doesn't go for redneck or anything. This goes for literally everything. It's the people who are wearing it and are like, this is what's fashionable now, are the ones who are the most disgusted by those people.
But I don't think anymore, or they're less
Definitely.
now, and then a year from now they'll be even less. And like
no girl who's wearing a NASCAR jacket is ever going to go to a NASCAR race.
No, but
the only reason she will is
that's
to
not
take an
disgusting.
Instagram photo.
But Bryce, a girl in New York City in Manhattan who's like, you know, that type of girl 5 years ago would have looked at a Morgan Wallen type looking guy, you know, who lived in a small town in the South and been like, this guy is low culture. Like this guy, why I would never ever associate. Now they're like, they would see Morgan Wallen and they're like, he's cool. That's a huge change. They might still be like,
I don't actually like him, but
or like like New York is still so much better. I would never go. But also like all of these people in New York and LA and Chicago, they're all moving to Austin, Nashville, Atlanta. They're all moving to the South.
I do get it. I
think it's the start of a huge shift in
it brings up a bigger topic in my head, and I really have no idea where I stand on this because I believe both sides. Right? Like, I want people to like all cultures, and I want people to take great aspects of all cultures, and I think it's great that, like, a white guy can marry a black girl, and a black guy can marry an Asian girl. And like,
whoa, Bryce, whoa.
Well, no, you get what I'm saying.
No. People, a black guy, no, I'm joking.
But I think it's great that, like, everything's just becoming a mix. But
I don't think that's great.
But I also think I think that's great that you can do it. But I also think the opposite, where it's like, I also think if everyone just becomes the exact same color, the exact same
cowboy
person,
hats and eating
then there's
barbecue
no
in Brooklyn,
culture.
Then Nashville has lost its. Although Nashville doesn't have cowboys, Austin has lost its what makes it special. Its culture. Yes, I'm of that point of view.
Yeah, but I
think
both.
If you want to listen to country music and wear cowboy boots and all that stuff, you go to Texas or Oklahoma. Like, go there and visit.
Yeah.
Don't bring that shit back.
But
to
and not to get into such a serious topic,
but that's also a lot of people have moved out of New York and California to Texas and
to bring
Georgia,
up
North Carolina.
More of a serious topic. I guess, like, the whole idea of, like, marriage, of who you should be marrying. I'm of the idea that, like, you can marry whoever you want, but I think sticking to your culture is a beneficial thing for your culture
and for the world.
But a lot of people are saying, like, that's so racist. That's so.
I don't think so anymore, Bryce. I think that was like 5 to 30 years ago.
How is it racist to want to be with somebody who's a like-minded individual?
No, well, they only say it's racist for white people. Like, if there was a Korean,
I assume a lot of black women and men would want to marry black women and men. You came from similar cultures.
To say because they're black. But if you're a white person that you say, I only want to marry a white person because I'm not attracted to black people, I don't want to be with a black person, that's racist. But if a black person said that, it wouldn't be racist. Like, people say Jews think they're so elite. This is like a big anti-Semitic thing, is people like Jews think that their bloodline,
we just are
Jews
elite.
think that their bloodline is so special, and so they only force their kids to marry within it, and that's wrong of them. But if you took 2 Nigerians from Nigeria, not Americans, or 2 Koreans from Korea, and their parents, or they've said as a person, they were like, yeah, I only want to marry a Korean, or I only want to marry a Nigerian, no one would even bat an eye. They'd be like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you? Why, as a Nigerian, would you want to marry a Portuguese person? That doesn't make sense. I think that I'm all for.
Yeah, I guess that might have been an older.
I think culture shouldn't be forced to, right? Or like, as a Jewish person, if you're like, I want to marry a Nigerian, people shouldn't be like, no, you're not allowed.
Yeah.
But I think if you're a Nigerian and you're like, I only want to marry a Nigerian, I think that should be encouraged, because that's how you keep the Nigerian culture and language and customs and traditions alive.
I think this is my standpoint on it. I agree with you. You should be allowed to do whatever you want. There should be no rules on it. But I think you should want to keep your culture and your traditions and everything alive. And you should want to be with someone who's like-minded, grew up similar to you.
Well, not you should, but most people want that.
To. It's also easier.
A lot of people don't.
Relationships and marriage are hard. So it's easier when you guys think somewhat similarly. But I don't think the same way about other people experiencing your culture.
Right. No,
I think it's crazy when people are like, how dare this person do that? And it's like, that's crazy.
Like cultural appropriation stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
no,
I
hate
can't.
that.
I hate. There was one I saw. It was a really funny one, but the Love Is Blind guy, where he was like, "Oh, I found out I was 5%
That was
Ethiopian
so
or whatever."
funny.
But I saw a girl online, and then the girl that he married was a black girl. I can't remember
No,
her
they're
name.
broken up.
Whatever, but it was a black girl, and she was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool! Like, I love that for you." And then I saw another black woman.
Oh wait, you got to explain a little more. It was a extremely white looking guy,
like whiter than me,
literally
the whitest guy I've ever seen.
Literally whiter looking than Bryce, and he said he did a 23andMe, and he found out he was like 5% African, and so he's now been like reading African culture and history, and he's been like exploring that.
He was like,
he said it's my that side of my history.
It's my favorite 5% of my body, or something like.
And it's like that's so lame.
But
it's also like, why should anyone shit on him for that? I think it's lame of him because the only reason he's doing that is because it's black and he's probably like liberal, and so he's like, this now gives me a part of that community.
But I saw TikTok.
I think if it was like 5%, Norwegian, he wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't even think about it.
But I saw TikTok where it was this black woman. She was like, "I shut the show off. I'll never watch it again. How dare they platform somebody like that?" And I was like,
Platform? I mean, what the fuck?
I was like, "Are you
He's
kidding?"
not saying anything bad. He's actually saying he
he's
wants to
saying
be more
that's
like
so
you.
cool that he. And she was like, "He's white. He's not allowed to be." And it's like, he's literally 5% African,
And he's celebrating you.
That could still be a white African. But
No, that's not how, I don't think it, I think it was like 5% Nigerian or 5%.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
But okay, so he is 5% African. Why do you care?
But it's also like he's saying positive things about it.
Yeah.
The thing
He's
with
not like,
racism-
now I can say the N-word.
The thing
he's
with
like,
but
oh,
also
I think
even
it's
that.
No, that's pretty
The thing
crazy.
with
you
racism
should not do
is that
that.
it's a negative thing. If you are saying if you're celebrating
Yeah.
someone else,
Then who cares?
because of their skin color, you're not racist. Like that's not how it
So
goes.
then let me ask, if somebody was wearing a yarmulke, if somebody dressed up as a Jew in a yarmulke and a tallis and all that for
wait,
Halloween,
this
would you
guy
get
was-
mad?
okay.
No, I'm just asking. Would you get mad?
I wouldn't get mad, but I would be suspicious. I would want to ask them, what the fuck are you doing?
So I think
why are you doing this? And if they said, I really like Jewish culture, I want to be Jewish, I'm
But if I dressed up as a Mexican guy in a sombrero gunslinger,
that would be
I'm not doing it to celebrate. I'm doing it because it's a funny costume.
Oh, you're saying just as a costume?
Yeah, I'm doing it as a funny costume.
I know, but
not
no
some
one
dude
does
just
that.
dressing up as a Jew day-to-day life because he likes
So you're saying
Judaism.
if someone went as like a stereotypical
As-
Jewish
as a-
person as a costume,
As a whatever it's called, as a Hasidic Jew, as a costume.
I would be like,
It's weird because if somebody went as a Hasidic Jew, I would think that's funny. If someone just went as a Jew, I would be like, I don't like that.
I would just be like, what are you doing? But I guess
Yeah, but if you're dressed up as a Mexican gunslinger,
as a
I don't see anything wrong with that. But that's wrong that I'm
right, because as a
believing
Mexican, they're
everything
probably
but
like, what
me.
the fuck are you doing?
I don't think that they care that much.
But also the problem is most non-Jews don't like Jews. So that's why I would automatically be suspicious about it. Be like, what are you
True,
doing?
like there's not like an active pipeline of racism to Mexican people. I'm sure there is, but it's like,
But most people nowadays like don't even. It's just like a Mexican person is an American to them. Like they don't even think about it. as a
true. I'm
different
sure
thing
Mexican
anymore.
people would probably disagree with us.
I don't think.
But
Mexicans
also, I think
are.
Mexicans would not care. I think Mexican Americans would have a problem with it, which is funny.
I think it's just because Jews we are so disliked that we're like our senses would be going off about like what is this person trying to achieve? Where like you did Oktoberfest thing and it's like you dressed up as a German person and German thing and it's like Germans aren't hated.
True, like
so it doesn't matter if someone
if you
dresses
dress
up as a German because it's like you're old. There's no why would any American ever be dressing up as a German to be like fuck Germans? That's never been done before.
Interesting.
But people do that to Jews. So you would be like, why are you dressing up as a
True,
Jew?
you're dressing up because it's fun. You're not dressing up to be offensive when you do the German.
No, it's like you don't.
If you were dressing up as a Jew, or if I was dressing up as an Arab or something, it would be the same thing. It would
right,
be
if
be
you were
offensive.
dressing up as an Arab, it'd be like, okay, wait. People don't like Arabs in this country, so what are you doing this for?
You're doing it to be offensive.
Or maybe you're not, but it's like, I need to find out first. If you're just doing it to be purely fun, then it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But no one is dressed up as, a German person to be offensive. It just doesn't happen.
Do you remember when I got kicked out of Mama Tried because some guy was wearing a tallis and I was like, "Are you Jewish?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Then why are you wearing a
How
tallis?"
was he wearing a tallis though?
I don't even think it was Halloween. It was like a night, and it was clearly a college kid who probably found a tallis and thought it was funny. And I was
But
like,
that's also religious garb. It's different.
True, that is
There's
like very
actual
religious.
spiritual. Like if it falls on the floor,
Well, I
that's
said-
against our religion.
I
So
said-
he's disrespecting.
I said like, "Dude, why are you wearing that?" Then he was like,
Timothy Yarmouth,
he was
by
like,
the way.
"Oh, because it's hilarious, right?" And then I threw him on the floor, and then I got kicked out. But I probably, when I threw him on the floor, I should have said, "Now you got to kiss it, bitch."
The religious stuff is different, and that's also the issue. It's like you're disrespecting.
True, like you're not gonna like walk around with a Quran, like that's so disrespectful.
Yeah, and everyone would agree with that.
True.
Or like, if you dressed up as Muhammad, it's like that's disrespectful. Even if you don't like Muslim people, it's disrespectful.
I guess
Like,
I guess
just
that's
don't
where the
do
line
that.
is. Like if you're wearing a sombrero, it's a hat that represents blocking the sun from Mexican culture.
And it's their culture.
I'm sure there's more to it, but
it's not their religion. If you went around as like, a Mexican nun, like from Nacho Libre or something,
True.
now you're being more offensive.
true. But I don't find anything inappropriate to dress up as the Pope. I don't find there to be anything inappropriate as that.
If we went to a club, we were at a table for Halloween, and there was a guy next to us doing shots dressed up as the Pope, I wouldn't be personally offended, but I would think that's wrong. He's desecrating their religious figure by drinking and twerking on a girl. It's like, that's funny.
I'm like,
but it's
that's
wrong.
hilarious.
Yeah, but it's wrong.
What about a guy dressed up
Because
as
if
a nun?
someone did it as a rabbi, someone not Jewish dressed up as a rabbi and was twerking on a girl to be funny, I would still be like, by the way, that's funny. But also, that's fucked up.
Is it weird that I think it would be way funnier if a black guy dressed up as a rabbi? Like
No,
I would
because it's
not
way less.
I would not be. I don't think he would be making fun. I think he would genuinely think it's funny.
That would be funny.
But if a white guy did, I would be like, I think he's trying to make fun of Jewish people.
Well, because black people have never really killed Jewish people. White people have. Although Egyptians, I guess,
Aren't
I don't know if
black.
they're black or not. Nubian Egyptians are black.
All right, loser.
They're African also. All Egyptians are African.
True. That is true.
But Nubian Egyptians are black-skinned Egyptians.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The way you said black skinned sounds so racist. Black skinned.
Okay.
All right, desserts.
Desserts. Jesus Christ. As the resident
Dessert
food
man.
person, I saw a TikTok and I completely agreed with this. I was fully on the same page.
2 stomachs.
No.
Oh.
They said the best countries for desserts is U.S. by
Hands down,
far,
hands down.
then France, but with a big
Huge
jump,
drop.
then Italy with a jump below that, and then nothing else. And I was
if
like,
somebody
that
comes
is
in-
so correct.
If somebody comes into the chat and says any Asian country, you get no say in any discussion,
Completely.
anything.
So here's the thing.
Asian desserts are horrendous, and every single Asian dessert is horrendous. You
Yes.
put beans in your
No,
dessert, you have
that's-
no conversation.
I agree. It's like, ooh, let's take a French dessert, a pastry, and let's add beans into it.
French desserts are definitely good. Italian desserts are definitely good, but there's nothing better than American desserts.
American desserts are like, if we're on a scale, American desserts are 100. French desserts are like
65.
60.
Yeah.
Then
Italian
Italian are like 48.
No.
And then everything else is lower.
The problem with every other, like, what other, I guess, like, the question is, America just took a bunch of other desserts and made them better.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ice cream, cookies, cakes. Those are all like American.
no, those are all like
I guess cakes are like
galette
French.
started before.
Yeah, but American cake is very different than French. True.
And also like all other countries are really just pastries. They don't really have desserts. Mango sticky rice is great, but it
that's-
doesn't even.
no,
but it doesn't even compare to.
That's a fucking breakfast, or it's just fruit. That's not a dessert.
That's hands down the best Asian dessert.
But that's not a dessert.
Yeah.
Asian desserts are ass. And Japanese people would say, but Japanese desserts are incredible. It's like, yes, they are. But the Japanese
What
they're-
Japanese desserts?
No, like Japanese pastries are just
Are
French.
just French.
Right, like
it's just Japanese people making
the
French food.
Japanese doing French desserts are the best. They're not the best. They're very good.
Yes.
The Japanese desserts themselves, like a ball of mochi, is not good. It's just not good.
Also, mochi, just not great. It's not.
No, it's not great. It's fun every once in a while. If you're like, you know,
Is it?
It's
When
fun.
We went
but
to that world famous mochi place, and we waited in line for 10 minutes, and I took a bite, and I was like,
Yeah.
This has fucking beans in it.
And it's like bulgur
Yeah.
flour on the outside.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I want?
It's like electric green from the nuclear reactor wrapped red beans. It's horrible. Who wants that?
And then
I want fucking I want like dark chocolate brownie with warmed up ice cream, whipped cream, hot fudge. That you also need a duality in dessert. You need like a cake and a moisture
some
aspect,
juxtaposition.
and you need cold with hot.
Unless
That's why
you're
it's the
doing,
best
like
dessert. Unless you're doing
French
cakes.
chocolate mousse is all just one texture, one flavor, one consistency.
No,
and
but
it's
you
phenomenal.
need a
But you
little bit
only
of
wanna
whipped cream. You need a little whipped cream.
or
'cause
some berries
It
on the
just
side.
changes
yeah.
it a little bit.
You don't like the
But
homogeneous.
Bryce's
dessert.
girlfriend's mom, the best chocolate mousse.
Really?
Dude.
Chocolate mousse is like a top 10 favorite dessert.
Great chocolate mousse.
I gotta try.
But you need, like, I'm a big believer in like a warm cake and an ice cream, unless it's a freshly baked, like, sheet cake, you know, like a Betty Crocker box cake with just vanilla cake, chocolate icing is
Yeah, it's great.
unbelievable.
But that's a nostalgia thing. I don't think that's objectively great. I think it's great because it's nostalgic. Like the taste is pretty, just like fine.
It's pretty great, but it's not like anything stellar, I guess. That chocolate icing though is made with like, again, nuclear chemicals probably, but man, is it good.
This TikTok that I saw was some podcast that was talking about it, and it was a Jewish guy, and he said, "You know what? He's like, I'm being 100%. What's the fucking word? I'm not biased here because I think Jewish desserts are at the bottom of the barrel with Asian dessert.
No.
'Cause he said they're all
No.
besides like,
They're still below Italy, but dude, a really good rugula. Have you seen
but it
that?
has to be like
It has to be good.
He said he was like Jewish desserts. They're all crumbly and dry,
But
and
that's
filled
like
with
shit,
raisins.
that's like
and I was
old,
like,
that's
honestly,
old people Jewish desserts. Different. When you go to Marzipan in Israel and you get the rugula, that's a top 10 dessert I've ever had in my life.
that is great. Yes.
Have you seen? There's like, it's this black guy on TikTok and he does like food reactions or whatever. Not Keith Lee, it's a different guy, but he has probably 1 million followers. And I guess people kept commenting rugula, so he went to a Jewish bakery and picked up like 10 pieces of rugula, and he's in his car, and he was like,
"How did he order it?"
"Oh, you don't know?
No. Did he say
I thought
rugelach?
He goes, "Holy shit, rugelach, rugelach! This is the best fucking thing!"
I knew
and
he would have
went
said that rugelach.
off, and he was like, "This is amazing." Because it is. Good rugula is unbelievable.
But that's one of the, like, most other Jewish desserts are pretty.
What else do we have? Really shitty dry cookies.
Yeah, really
Disgusting.
shitty cookies. Babka is only good if it's full of chocolate.
Dude,
But traditional babka is
Zach the Baker chocolate babka.
Yeah, but it has to be right.
If you live in the
But it's
Miami
very
area,
chocolatey,
go to
right?
Zach the Baker and get Zach the Baker chocolate babka. It is one of the best things you will.
I love chocolate
Dude,
babka.
did you see the sound I made?
Yeah.
It touches your tongue and disintegrates. It's the best. It's, oh, God.
America has fully perfected the dessert.
I'm trying to think, but again, like, right? Warm apple pie with vanilla ice cream is unbelievable. But that's not American. It's really German that we just changed the shape of. So it's a little unfair for us to just claim that, although that's the most American dessert.
I bet if you got like the average American apple pie, and the average German apple pie, the American one's gonna be way better. It's gonna be sweeter. It's gonna have some cinnamon in it, caramelization and shit.
Good, like, what's it, strudel?
Yeah.
Rocks. It is really good.
Yeah, but if you're doing it as a whole, like country by country, we're
what
top
country
tier.
would you? I would say what country
Does
would you say-
Africa have desserts? Africa's
They don't
not
even
a
have
country.
water, bro.
Africa's
Nice.
not a country, obviously. Or like Latin American desserts. There's really none.
No.
Flan. That's it.
Flan, Brazil has desserts.
Like what? Like fucking
Things that-
ice with milk and shit.
kind of like the one where you like just throw a bunch of nasty jellies and with
Yeah, it's like
condensed
what
milk.
the fuck? No, I think
No.
that's like Philippines or something.
They have like weird desserts that really haven't made it over to America, but like they have like Brigadeiro has kind of made it over, which is like those chocolates, which is really good.
Yeah, but American chocolates are better.
They're different, but I agree. America definitely has. But what would you say has the best food then?
Country for country, what has the best food? Like cuisine, right? Because obviously I haven't been to
Country
every
for country, but also
cuisine.
like we can throw a lot of the Asian countries into one. Just because I'm not going to get into the difference between what's Laotian food and what's Filipino food.
Okay, but but
Chinese,
Japanese, Thai,
but also Chinese actual cuisine is not what we eat.
Right.
I think our cuisine is amazing, but I don't think that's anywhere near what actual Chinese food is.
It isn't. I've been to China,
and it's probably not amazing, right?
No, I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I think cuisine-wise, the top tier is Italian food.
So
then
I'll disagree with you.
Greek, just general that Mediterranean. So like Greek, Israeli, Lebanese, like you know what? Greek is separate than those. Let's do Italian food, then Greek food, then American food.
So let me disagree. I think top
Japanese food is in there too.
Number one is Japanese.
Well,
here's why.
Are we talking about quality or what we want to eat every day of your life?
I said the best, not what I want to eat for the rest of my life. Because rest of my life, I think I'm going Italian, American, Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Then Japanese.
Yeah, I agree.
But the best, I think, is Japanese, then maybe Middle Eastern, honestly, then Italian. Because Italian, for the most part...
It's like the same 5 ingredients.
Exactly.
Dude, Mexican has got to be in the top 5.
Oh, shit.
That's in the top 5.
Honestly, if I could have something for the rest of my life, it might be Mexican.
No, I think you get too sick of it. It's the same 5 flavors. I think if I could have something for the rest of my life, it would be Greek and or Middle Eastern because it's light, it's always flavorful, there's a lot of different variation, and it's easy enough. Italian
but
food...
But not having a burger
I'd get really
for the rest
sick
of your life.
Of Italian food quickly.
Like, honestly... If I could choose one for the rest, if I got one meal, I think I might go burger, which is crazy. Chicken parm.
I couldn't eat chicken parm like every.
No. I'm talking like you have one last meal.
Oh, well, one last meal.
I think I'm going chicken parm.
Eat something every day.
But
dude, Mexican food is so good.
I'm definitely not doing Mexican food for my last meal.
No.
100% no. I don't think I'm doing Japanese food.
What food are we forgetting about?
Chinese, European food is ass.
Well, wait,
you
what
want
type
boiled
of
goose?
Because like Spanish food and Italian food is also European.
Oh, Spanish
French food is very good.
Super overrated. Super overrated.
But like I don't want that all the time.
French food's so overrated. It's all about technique more than it is like. I guess it's just not my style.
French onion soup.
Like I don't care about technique as much as I care about indulgence, which most people would disagree with. Like. Italian food is so rustic. French food is not at all. Rustic, like you're throwing ingredients. There's no measurements.
And it's about feel.
Yeah.
French food is about precision.
Japanese is precision. French is technique.
Yeah.
There's got to be dude, like Argentinian food, although it's really just meat, is so fucking good.
Oh, Latin America
Cuban
has
food.
Excellent food.
Cuban American food is amazing.
Yeah, but it's no Mexican food. It isn't.
Besides America, white people have horrible food. I'm excluding like Latin people as white.
And
I'm
also like
Italians
and Spanish.
Those are European. When I say white, I mean like
you're saying Northern European.
Yeah.
Germanic, British, Norwegian,
Canada, America,
Russia.
Trash food.
Yeah.
They do everything that every other country does, just way worse, no flavorings, and they boil it instead of cooking it.
American food, though, like if we're talking burgers, hot dogs, barbecue, that is a top tier food too.
Yes.
That's some of the best food in the world.
Really good, like barbecue brisket is one of the best things. Is one of the best things in the world.
Barbecue is phenomenal.
Really good fucking chicken wings.
Oh yeah.
Also, if you like Neapolitan pizza, you also don't get a say in this conversation.
I love Neapolitan pizza.
Nope, then you don't get a say in the conversation.
Okay, I love New York style pizza, and I love Neapolitan pizza. I love tavern pizza. I love Detroit pizza.
Okay, yes, pizza,
and they're all
pizzas,
and they're all
what I'm saying.
Different things. But when I think of American, when I'm saying Italian food, I'm not thinking of American pizza. And when I say American food, I'm putting American pizza in that. New York pizza is American food.
See, Neapolitan pizza is definitely good.
It's a different thing.
But I think if you
like Omunicello, that's Italian pizza, not American pizza.
Yeah,
and
but it's phenomenal. It's not as Neapolitan as actual Neapolitan pizza. Their sauce isn't running off. There's not one little dollop of cheese.
But yeah, I don't. Those people
by
are
the
like,
way,
Bryce. That's not like when I'm in Italy.
Those are dough purists. That's like very
When I've been
common.
in Italy, everywhere you go, every restaurant, they have pizza on the menu, and you're in Italy, and it's not like that. it's like omunacello. It has toppings on it. It's crispy.
I'm here for that, and good dough's great, but I can order a side of bread. I want pizza.
Tradition Neapolitan
is nasty.
Neapolitan
I don't want
nothing really. Yeah.
Take the tomato sauce, squeeze all the water out, and then use the water as sauce. That doesn't make fucking sense.
Yeah, and it's like the middle of the dough is not
It's
cooked.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I get their thought process behind it.
It's just a different thing.
It's that you want the dough, but that's not pizza.
It's a different thing.
American pizza is hands down the best.
Agreed.
I also don't really understand why people like burnt pizza. Like people like Anthony's, how they burn the crust.
I like burnt pizza.
I like the bottom being crispy, but I don't want it to be bitter. And Anthony's is bitter.
Here's the thing with pizza. There's really not a bad pizza.
Even
Chuck E.
bad
Cheese.
Don't shit on Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese pizza is amazing.
Little Caesars.
Chuck E. Cheese pizza is great.
Also, pizza in Italy. Fucks. Also,
of course, dude.
Lucali. Fucks. They're all fantastic.
Bread with cheese and tomato sauce. How could it be bad?
Yeah, it's all
bad.
Literally
pizza.
Frozen pizza in the microwave.
Dude,
fucks.
Tombstone pizza. I used to down at Tombstone.
It's all good, really.
But
that's one of the few foods that
bad pasta is not good at all.
100%
is not good at all.
And by the way, the best pasta blows away the best pizza. Blows away.
Yes, but rarely do I ever.
But the worst
pasta
pizza and the worst pasta is way worse than the worst pizza.
Yes,
and the best pasta is way better than the best pizza.
True, but I don't know the last time I had pasta as my meal. Like to me, pasta, I want 5 bites of it, and I want something else. It's hard for me to eat a pasta dish. Like, if I order a pasta dish, it's never enough for me.
You get pasta and pizza.
It's
like when you're in Italy and you have a pasta and a pizza, it's unreal.
What's the restaurant we went to for your engagement? After your engagement,
Casa Tua.
What pasta did we get? I forget.
Cacio e pepe.
I'm not a big cacio e pepe guy, dude. And then I went with Bryce's girlfriend's family for Bryce's girlfriend's sister's birthday 3 nights after, and I got cacio e pepe again. It
phenomenal.
is it can't have a lot of pepper in it.
No, and
when it just tastes like pepper, simple. It's nasty.
That's the best thing about Italian food is that some of the
there's
dishes,
not a lot of ingredients.
There's like 3 ingredients, but something about it just
if you want to see the best Italian food being made in the most rustic way possible, Christian Peroni, I think is his last name, he won like he was like the first Food Network star winner or whatever. Super famous Italian chef. All he does is just make really simple Italian dishes in a rustic way. It is fucking amazing. Dude, every time I watch this stuff,
here's the thing with Italian food. I think it might be my favorite type of cuisine, but I don't want to eat it all the time. Greek/Middle Eastern food, I could realistically eat it every single day and I'd be fine with it. I wouldn't get sick of it.
I think if I didn't get fat, I would eat Italian food all the time.
I don't know. It's so, I think I would get sick of it.
Yeah, but you have like Italian fish. Italian fish, like the way they cook fish is like a little bit of butter and lemon, and you just like pan-sear it.
Yeah, but that also could be like Greek too.
True.
All right, well, an hour we talked about really literally nothing.
Yeah. Just brain rot. Yeah. Rizzler. Let's talk about the Rizzler.
But I guess it's I know it for me in the podcast that I listen to now, when because it's like so much annoying shit is going on in the world that I like just hearing an hour of like where I can turn my brain off because everything else is fucked.
I agree.
And last week, Dad and I talked for an hour about how fucked the world is. So I guess this maybe was a nice break for people.
I don't really think we're that fucked.
I don't want to get into it.
I don't want to either. But I think people have such a pessimistic viewpoint. I think actually everything's kind of okay. I don't really have any backing for that. Well, but I think the only thing that we're fucked for is housing prices. Besides that, I think everything housing prices.
What about the wars going on in this world? What about
there's always
coming AI and
I think AI. I mean, I think it's crazy and
automation,
super scary. But I don't think it's anything we need to worry about.
And what about how whatever? I don't want to get into it.
I have no backings for any of these. These are just
I hope you're right. All right. Well,
I drank a bunch of kombucha, so my gut's feeling weird.
Hey. Okay. We'll end on that.
3 punts, 2 fumbles, and a missed field goal this half. I hate being a Dolphins fan.
The Dolphins are great. Okay. Good.
Get well soon, Tua.
All right. Bye.
You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.